So, in just a single meeting, the city of Lawrenceville committed over $1.8 million to some pretty big projects. The big question is, where is all that money going? And, maybe more importantly, what does it mean for your wallet? Let's break it all down.
Yeah, this is really the heart of it, isn't it? When you see a number that big, you gotta wonder, is this smart strategic growth? Or is the city just, spending way too fast? We're gonna lay out all the details for you so you can make up your own mind.
All right, let's just put the big number right out there, nearly $2 million. Now, to be clear, this isn't the city's entire budget or anything, but it does represent two massive decisions they made in just one night. And these decisions are definitely going to shape what Lawrenceville looks like in the future. So let's follow the money, starting with the biggest piece of the pie. Okay, first up, we're talking about expanding the city's footprint. And I mean that literally. The single biggest investment is all about real estate, right in the heart of downtown. This is a pretty significant move.
Yep, you're seeing that right. Over $1.2 million. I mean, just to put that into perspective for you, this one real estate deal makes up more than 2/3 of all the new spending we're talking about tonight. So what exactly did the city get for that kind of cash?
So here's the breakdown. The City Council greenlit the purchase of these three properties, all right next to each other on East Croghan Street. By buying up this whole block, the city now controls a really key piece of downtown real estate. This opens up all kinds of doors for future projects. Think new public spaces, maybe some strategic development. It's a big play.
All right, so that's the real estate. Now let's switch gears and look at the second major expense, which is all about building up the city's capacity in a totally different way. We're moving from physical property to digital infrastructure. We're talking about a complete overhaul of the city's computer workstations. The city's putting up nearly $650,000 to get its tech up to speed. But here's the key thing. This isn't a one-time purchase. It's actually a pretty strategic lease agreement. And the whole idea is to keep the city's tech modern and working for its employees over the next few years.
And this table really breaks down why this is a pretty smart move. See, instead of dropping a huge chunk of cash up front, the city is leasing the computers from Dell for 3 years. The annual payments are way more manageable. And it means Lawrenceville won't get stuck with a bunch of outdated computers in a few years. It's kind of like a pay-as-you-go plan for keeping City Hall running smoothly. But, big spending on property and tech, that's only part of the story. The city also made some really key decisions about the people who are going to manage all this growth. They're investing in new roles and new leaders, too.
All right, first up on the people side of things, a change in leadership. Councilmember Bruce Johnson was just elected as the new mayor pro tem, taking over from Victoria Jones. And this is a pretty important role, by the way. The mayor pro tem is the person who steps in for the mayor whenever they're not available, so it's a key position on the council.
And there's more. The council also gave the thumbs up to add a new employee to the gas department. Now on its own, one new hire might not sound like a huge deal. But if you think about it, it's a clear signal that as the city itself gets bigger, the workforce needed to serve all of us residents has to grow right along with it. Okay, so we've seen the big spending on property, the big spending on tech, and the changes with the team. All of this leads to what's probably the most important question for any resident, right? What's this actually going to cost me?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you hear about millions of dollars being spent, it's totally natural to think, oh great, my taxes are about to go up, so let's just tackle that concern head on.
And here it is, the bottom line you've been waiting for. None of these decisions came with an immediate tax or utility fee increase. Seriously, this is probably the most important takeaway for your wallet tonight.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how is that even possible? Well, the city is funding all this from its existing budget. The money for the real estate purchase was already allocated. And like we saw, that tech upgrade is a lease with those structured annual payments, which is just way easier to handle than a huge one-time hit. The key thing is, no new taxes were proposed or approved.
So, when you put it all together, this one city council meeting really gives us a perfect snapshot of a city on the move. You've got Lawrenceville actively expanding its assets downtown, totally modernizing its tools, growing its team, and shaking up its leadership. These are all signs of a community that's really trying to get ready for the future.
And this brings us right back to where we started. The city is making some really bold, really expensive moves. The question is, are they the right ones? Now that these foundational pieces are in place, more land, better tech, new leaders, the real question becomes, what's next? What's the next big project that will make sure Lawrenceville isn't just growing bigger, but actually growing smarter? And that's the conversation that city leaders, and really all of us residents, are facing right now.